It's time.
Welcome to the Family Fudge and welcome to Bunches of Lunches. In this week's video, I have really fun but super easy lunch ideas to share with you. On this channel, I share all different kinds of lunch ideas every single week. So if you love fun lunch ideas too, go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. First up, I'm making a lunch for my oldest daughter, Mackenzie, and since we are finally into fall, for her lunch, I'm going with an almost everything pumpkin theme. So many stores right now have all of the pumpkin and pumpkin spice foods available, and as you can see, I definitely stocked up. For Mackenzie's main course, I was super excited to find these roasted pumpkin and sage ravioli at Aldi. Now, I actually bought these around this same time last year, and I was so happy to find them again this year because surprisingly, all of my kids like these. These are definitely a savory pumpkin item, which is kind of hard to find sometimes. Most pumpkin items tend to be sweet. Now, because these are fresh pasta, they really only take a few minutes to cook. And while these are cooking, I do want to go ahead and preheat Mackenzie's thermos. That way it can keep her raviolis piping hot until lunchtime. So once these raviolis are floating at the top, you know they're done. I'm just going to drain them. Then I'm going to add a bit of butter. I'm going to toss them around in that butter. Then I'm going to top it with a sprinkling of Parmesan cheese. So now that her main course is done, I'm moving on to the fruit and veggies. And for her fruit specifically, I have something special in mind. Now for the berries, I'm adding a combo of strawberries, blueberries, and raspberries. And you guys, for the cream, this isn't just a regular cream. I was able to find this pumpkin spiced whipped cream at Aldi. This stuff straight up tastes like pumpkin pie. It's a 10 out of 10, would totally recommend.
Berries and cream, berries and cream. I'm a little lad who loves berries and cream.
And now, keeping with the pumpkin theme, I'm also going to add some of this Harvest Pumpkin Greek yogurt. This includes pumpkin yogurt and pumpkin granola. For Mackenzie's sweet treat, I'm throwing in a very special pumpkin cupcake. Now, I'm not usually a fan of these cupcakes, but I have to say that the pumpkin ones are pretty tasty. So definitely don't knock these until you try them. Now, last but not least, I'm going to try making my own pumpkin spiced milk. I got this idea from a drink I've seen all over Instagram, and it comes from Trader Joe's. To make this drink, I'm just gonna combine some oat milk and a little bit of non-dairy pumpkin spice creamer. And I'm hopefully gonna make something that Mackenzie will like. Now that brings me to Amaria's lunch. Amaria is from Florida, and for her lunch today, she requested a purple theme. Now, for Amaria's main course, she requested some purple waffles. So I've just mixed up some regular waffle batter, and I added just a tiny bit of food coloring in here, and I'm going to add this to my waffle iron, which is a cute little heart shape. Now, once these waffles are cooled down enough, I'm going to spread a little bit of Nutella on them, and I'm also going to add in some slices of strawberry. So this is definitely a yummy sandwich that is also super cute. Now, to go along with this purple theme, Amaria also requested some purple grapes for her fruit and some purple carrots for her veggie. For her snack, she requested some grape yogurt, but unfortunately I couldn't find any grape yogurt, but I was able to find a yogurt in a purple package, so I think it still goes with the theme of the lunch. For her treat, Amaria requested some purple Nerds candies. So yes, I actually went through this box and picked out just the purple ones so I can add them right in here. And then the very last thing I'm going to add into this lunch is some grape juice. Now you guys, I just love the way that this lunch turned out. Okay guys, next up I'm making... Uh-oh you guys, the power just went out. And honestly, living here in Florida, that happens more often than you would think, especially with hurricane season and storms rolling through all summer. And I love that I don't have to stress about the power anymore now that we have the Jackery solar generator HomePower 3000 on standby. This has been such a relief during the outages. This guy can keep our fridge running and our food fresh for up to 2 days straight. That means no spoiled food and no wasted groceries, which is a huge deal, especially with kids. And you guys, it's literally plug and play. No complicated setup at all. I can move it around all by myself, and in an extended power outage, I can even hook it up to solar panels to recharge it and keep us going. So even when the weather gets rough and the power's out, I know our food is safe. Now let's get back to those lunches, and I want to thank Jackery for partnering with me on today's video. If you want to check out the HomePower 3000, I'll have a link in the description box below. Now you guys, for Zoe's birthday lunch, she requested a Mickey Mouse theme. And for the main course, she requested some Mickey Mouse themed Lunchables. So of course, traditionally, a Lunchable will include meat, cheese, and crackers. And for this lunch, I'm gonna start by cutting the cheese into really cute Mickey shapes, that is. Now I'm going to do the same thing with some ham, and then I'm also going to throw in some Ritz crackers. So now that Zoe's main course is done, I'm going to move on to her fruit. She requested strawberries, so I'm going to cut these into heart shapes and then get them into the lunchbox. And then for her veggies, I'm going to be combining some cucumber and carrots, and of course I'm going to be making these into Mickey shapes as well. For Zoe's snack, she requested goldfish crackers, and of course, to go with the Mickey Mouse theme, I got the Mickey Mouse goldfish crackers. And since I'm saving space in the lunchbox for Zoe's treat, I'm going to go ahead and put these goldfish crackers in a separate Mickey Mouse container. And you guys, speaking of Zoe's treat, she asked for a birthday cake. So I got these really cute mini birthday cake cupcakes. I just love the fun sprinkles on top. And to go along with the Mickey Mouse theme, I'm also going to add a little cupcake topper right on top. And now finally, to complete Zoe's lunch, for her drink, she requested orange juice. So I'm going to be throwing in this orange flavored Good to Grow drink with, of course, a Mickey Mouse topper. Okay guys, so now moving on to my son Jackson's lunch. And for him, I'm putting together a hot lunch with lots of yummy things on the side. For Jackson's main course, I'm going to cook up a few of these bulgogi flavored dumplings. Now, we get these at Costco in these huge bags and we love them. Normally, I like to cook these on the stove top, but several of you guys gave me the idea to cook them in the air fryer instead. This is definitely a faster and easier way to cook them, but I do have to say, it does make them crispier. So if you are a fan of chewier dumplings, probably cook them the traditional way. Next, to go along with these, I'm going to heat up these sweet cinnamon-filled Korean pancakes. Now, these are from Trader Joe's, and they've actually been in my freezer for quite a few weeks now. So this is gonna be our first time getting to try these. Now, these come cooked, but they are frozen, so all you have to do is heat them up in a pan on both sides, and then they're ready to serve. And check these out, you guys. I was able to give them a little taste test, and they are delicious. They're slightly crispy, a little bit chewy, and in the center, it tastes like a cinnamon roll. I'd say the only downside to these is that each bag only comes with 4, and there's 6 people in my family. So next time, I'll be buying 2 bags of these. Next, for Jackson's lunch, I'm going to be adding in some grapes, and these are actually the cotton candy grapes. I've been looking for these for several weeks now, and my store finally has them. These really do taste like cotton candy. Next, I'm going to be adding some grape tomatoes. Jackson is one of my kids that loves tomatoes, so he gets them in his lunch quite often. And then over on the side here, I'm also going to be adding in some celery sticks. And in the center, I'm not going to forget the ranch to go with them. And now, last but not least, for Jackson's drink, I'm just going to be throwing in an apple juice. Now, for Riley's lunch, she requested a Baby Yoda theme, and you guys let me know in the comments down below if you are also a Baby Yoda fan. I'm gonna get started with Riley's main course first, and she requested a Baby Yoda sandwich. So for this, I'm gonna be using some chicken, and I'm also adding some Colby Jack cheese. Oh, there's also a little bit of mayo in here as well. And you guys, to go along with the Baby Yoda theme, I'm also going to add a little decoration to the top of this sandwich. I have this Baby Yoda cookie cutter. I'm just going to rub a little bit of food coloring on the cookie cutter itself, and then I'm going to use that like a stamp on the front of the sandwich. So now that that's done, I'm going to move on to the fruit. For Riley's lunch, she requested apples. So of course I got a green apple to go along with Baby Yoda. I'm gonna go ahead and cut this into chunks. That way it fits really well in the lunchbox. But because I don't want these apples to turn brown, I am gonna soak them in a little bit of water with lemon juice before I put them in the lunchbox. Now for Riley's veggie, she requested carrots. So for this to go along with the Yoda and Star Wars theme, I'm just going to cut these carrots into star shapes. I'm going to go ahead and add those to the lunchbox with a little bit of ranch for dipping. Next up is the snack, and Riley requested yogurt. Now, I'm not exactly sure what Riley's favorite flavor of yogurt is, but I decided to go with some apple flavored yogurt since I know she loves apples. And you guys, to make this a little bit more Baby Yoda themed, I'm also going to add a little bit of green sprinkles right on top of the yogurt, and I'm going to add this really cute little Baby Yoda decoration. For Riley's sweet treat, she requested fruit snacks, and I'm gonna go ahead and put these in a little Star Wars container to dress them up. And now you guys, last but not least, For Riley's drink, she requested apple juice. And I know this technically isn't Baby Yoda. I don't have a Baby Yoda topper yet. I do have the regular one though, so I think that's good enough. And there you have it, guys. That is everything in a Riley's lunch. And I wish Riley a happy birthday. And the theme for her lunch today is breakfast. You guys, I love having breakfast for lunch. And to get started, I'm just mixing up a little bit of pancake mix. And you guys, since these lunches are all about being quick and easy, I'm using the kind where you just have to add water. Now, I want these pancakes to be pretty small. I guess you could call these silver dollar pancakes. But you guys, let me know in the comments down below if you've heard of pancake cereal. I know it's going all over the internet right now. I've never made it, but I think next week I might give it a try. Okay guys, so now for Ariana's pancakes, she asked if I could put them on a skewer with slices of strawberries and bananas. Now this sounds so good. So I've just built 2 little stacks here and I'm just going to add them into the lunchbox. Next, I'm going to chop up some green apple. Now to go along with this, Ariana also requested some apple yogurt. So I'm going to try to create sort of an apple yogurt parfait. On the bottom here, I'm just going to add some small pieces of cut up apple. And then you guys, I have this apple flavored Greek yogurt. I'm going to add that right on top. Not only is this a delicious combination, but covering the apples in the yogurt is also going to help keep them from turning brown. And then to top it all off, I'm going to sprinkle on those little crunchy bits that came with the yogurt. Now moving on to Ariana's vegetable, I'm going to be adding in some crinkle cut carrot sticks. And you guys, you're going to be seeing these in a lot of the lunches today. And here is a time-saving tip. You can go ahead and wash and prep lots of different kinds of fruits and veggies. You can store them in the fridge for a couple of days, and that really makes putting together lunches so much faster. Now, moving on to Ariana's snack. She requested string cheese, but to get this to fit better in my bento box, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut up the string cheese like this, and I'll go ahead and add a cute little food pick in here that can be used to pick up the cheese. For Ariana's snack, she requested some of these Pop-Tart bites. Now you guys, let me know in the comments down below if you've ever tried these before, and if you have, do you prefer the mini Pop-Tart bites or regular Pop-Tarts? Because I would love to know. And now to complete Ariana's lunch, I'm gonna be adding in her drink, and she requested milk, which I think is a perfect drink to go along with a breakfast themed lunch. Next up, a lunch for Lily, and for her, I'm going with a Disney theme. Now, if you're new here, we actually live quite close to Disney World. I wanted to make a Disney themed lunch. So I'm going to start out with a sandwich for Lily, and this is going to be kind of a cross between a peekaboo sandwich and an open-faced sandwich. Now, I think this sandwich turned out pretty interesting. I've definitely never made one quite like this before. Next, I'm going to add in some pineapple, and this is to represent one of our favorite Disney World treats. Next, because I want to get a little bit more protein in here, I'm going to add some lightly salted edamame. Lily loves these. And right on top, I'm just going to add a little 50 cutout. This is actually just a couple pieces of carrots. Next, I'm adding in some Mickey and Minnie Mouse goldfish. These are perfect for any Disney themed lunch. And then for Lily's sweet treat, I'm going to add just a bit of this caramel apple popcorn. Now, I found this at Target, and I thought this would be perfect for this Disney themed lunch because it represents another of our favorite Disney treats. And now finally, I'm going to finish off this lunch with a pink lemonade drink with a Minnie Mouse topper. Okay guys, now that brings me to Ellie's lunch, and I was super excited to see this lunch request because it has to do with strawberries, and Ellie's main course, she requested a Japanese style fruit sandwich with strawberries, of course. Now I've actually made this several times on this channel, but if you've never heard of a Japanese style fruit sandwich, they are so delicious. It basically starts with nice soft white bread. To this you just add a little bit of whipped cream, and then pretty much you can add whatever fruit you want inside the sandwich itself. I've seen grape sandwiches, I've seen mango and kiwi, but today we're keeping it simple by adding just some fresh strawberries. Now I've heard that the trick to this sandwich is to actually wrap it up in some plastic wrap and let it sit in the fridge for at least an hour. That way it's a lot easier to cut through it. You do want to go ahead and cut off the crust for this. I think that's more authentic. And then I want to be really careful as I cut down the center to not kind of squish the berries inside. Now moving on to Elle's fruit. Of course, I'm going to be adding some more strawberries in here, but then I'm also going to be adding some delicious mango chunks. For her veggie, Elle requested cucumbers, so I'm going to cut these into flower shapes. And then for her snack, she requested strawberry yogurt, and I went ahead and got the fancy French style yogurt. That is definitely one of my favorites. And you guys, to dress up this yogurt, I am going to add just one little strawberry heart right on top. Now for Ellie's treat, she requested a granola bar, and to go with the strawberry theme, I got these strawberry yogurt granola bars. These are so good. They're nice and soft and chewy, and they have a really strong strawberry flavor. And then you guys, speaking of strawberry, for Ellie's drink, she requested strawberry milk. So I'm gonna go ahead and whip some up. I'm gonna try to make this as frothy as I can. And then I'm just going to pour this into a reusable drink container. And here you have it, Ellie. I hope you have an awesome birthday. Okay guys, now that brings me to my son Griffin's lunch, and for him I'm going to try to put together a copycat lunch inspired by Chick-fil-A. I'm starting this off with these Just Bare chicken nuggets from Costco. Again, we love these from Costco. We buy these all the time, and I really think that they are pretty close to the ones you'd get at Chick-fil-A. Now to get these nice and crispy, I do like to cook them in the air fryer. And when they're done, they look like this. They're definitely bigger than Chick-fil-A nuggets, but the taste is very similar. And you guys, I did go ahead and put a little paper towel in my thermos before I added the nuggets in there. And that's just to help absorb any excess moisture, and it's gonna hopefully keep these nuggets from getting too soggy. Next, to go along with these nuggets, I have Griffin's favorite sauce from Chick-fil-A. Now I used to try to make my own Chick-fil-A sauce, but nowadays you can actually find this at Target and at Walmart. I'm gonna give Griffin just a little container of this. And you guys, I would love to know in the comments down below, what is your favorite chicken nugget dipping sauce? Next, I'm gonna add in lots of fruit salad because we love the fruit salad at Chick-fil-A. This is just a mixture of apples, strawberries, there's also blueberries, and my favorite, mandarin oranges. Next, I'm adding in some carrots because that's Griffin's favorite veggie these days. And to go along with the carrots, I'm also going to add some ranch. Now, usually at Chick-fil-A, we also love the waffle fries, but instead of adding fries that would definitely get soggy in this lunchbox, I'm going to add these waffle-like potato chips instead. And then you guys, for the sweet treat, since Chick-fil-A has some really good chocolate chip cookies, I'm gonna go ahead and add these mini chocolate chip cookies. And then finally, our favorite drink from Chick-fil-A is lemonade, so I definitely want to add a lemonade into this lunch. enjoyed all of these lunches and that they give you some ideas that you can use for yourself. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Now you guys, I'm super excited about Mia's lunch because she asked for a Sleeping Beauty theme, and I don't think I've ever made a Sleeping Beauty themed lunch before. For Mia's main course, she requested some mac and cheese. Now you guys, the only princess kind of mac and cheese I could find was technically frozen themed, so instead I'm going to be using this princess pasta. I'm going to cook this up just like I normally would, and then I'm going to add a mac and cheese sauce packet to the noodles, kind of making my own princess mac and cheese. Now I'm going to go ahead and get this into the lunchbox and then move on to the fruit. For this lunch, I'm going to be adding some strawberries, and to go along with the Briar Rose or Sleeping Beauty theme, I'm going to very carefully cut these strawberries into roses. So for this, all you have to do is take a paring knife, and then you just make little cuts around the strawberry, just like this, and I'm kind of peeling back each little piece so it looks like the petal of a rose. For Mia's vegetables, she also requested carrots. Carrots have been very popular this week. And I'm also going to be putting some ranch in here because just like my kids, Mia loves to have her carrots with ranch. For Mia's snack, she requested goldfish, and you guys, this works out perfectly because they do actually make princess-themed goldfish as well. So I'm gonna fill this entire back section with these princess goldfish crackers. And then you guys, for Mia's sweet treat, she requested something called Dunkaroos. Now, I'm not sure if you can get these in other countries, but here in America, these used to be popular when I was a kid, so they've kind of brought them back. It's basically a cookie that you dip in a little bit of frosting. You guys will have to let me know in the comments down below if you've ever tried Dunkaroos. And now finally, to complete Mia's lunch, I'm also going to throw in an apple juice with a princess topper, but unfortunately I don't have a Sleeping Beauty one. Instead, I'm going to add in a Snow White topper because she sleeps in her movie too, so it totally counts, right? Okay friends, I hope you enjoyed these super fun birthday lunches today. If you have a lunch idea you'd like to send in, first make sure you're subscribed, and then there's going to be a link in the description box below where you can send in your idea. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.